as the world converged at Bharat Mandapam for the AI Summit 2026 to witness India's technological rise and global ambition. On the other hand, the global leaders and industry giants were hailing Bharat as a serious force shaping the future. And on one side was India's own Congress party, which chose to unleash its youth wing on that very stage, turning a moment of national prestige into a spectacle of disruption and politics. And today, the Indian Youth Congress justified their Banyan protest by drawing Mahatma Gandhi's parallel. By circulating images of Gandhi, the Youth Congress claims fighting without symbols of power is part of historic legacy. Their argument is simple and defiant. They fought yesterday, they're fighting today, and they will keep fighting tomorrow. And while Congress MP Imran Masood justified the Banyan protest, Akhilesh Yadav, Congress's Indie bloc ally, distanced himself and refused to support the Indian National Congress's protest.
भाई मोदी और ट्रम्प की दोस्ती ने देश का तो सत्यानाश करने की तैयारी कर ही ली है। नौजवान परेशान है बेचारा, लोग उत्साह के अंदर चले गए होंगे, इसके अलावा क्या हो सकता है। दूसरे का माल ला करके अपना बता रहे हो, पूरी दुनिया में अपना मजाक बनवा रहे हो। ये सम्मान कराया तुमने, ये सम्मान कराया क्या देश का कि आप दूसरे की चीज को अपनी बता करके चला दिया आपने। वहां आपने मजाक बनवा दिया पूरी दुनिया के अंदर हमारा। भाजपा डर गई है कि देश समझ गया कि तुमने देश बेच दिया, देश की समझ में आ गया तुमने देश बेच दिया, इसीलिए इधर उधर के नैरेटिव तैयार करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं है इसके अलावा।
जब दुनिया के डेलीगेट्स आए हों, दुनिया के बड़े बड़े राष्ट्रपति प्रधानमंत्री आए हों, तो हमें चीन का नकली रोबोट नहीं लाना चाहिए। आखिरकार ये गलती सरकार की हुई है, इतना अपमानित होना पड़ा। अभी कार्टून मैंने एक देखा जिसमें ये रोबोट है जो वो हमारे मेक इन इंडिया के सिर को दौड़ा रहा है, तो ये चीन का दिखाना पड़ा इन्हें। और उसके बाद जो और हंगामा हुआ है इसके पक्ष में मैं नहीं हूं। ये सरकार झूठ बोलती है, सरकार धोखा देती है, वो अलग बात है, वो हम अपने इंटरनल उसमें लड़ लेंगे। अब तो पूरा देश जान गया कि बीजेपी झूठ बोलती है, तो उस तरह का प्रदर्शन नहीं करना चाहिए था जिससे फॉरेन डेलीगेट और फॉरेन कंट्री के सामने हमारे आपके देश का अपमान हो।
The BJP says this is not symbolism but selective borrowing of history, using Gandhi's legacy as a shield to justify disruption and chaos at a global event.
Congress party has lost all sense of balance. After doing a shirtless, topless, characterless, brainless and shameless act, now they are invoking Mahatma Gandhi. And they are saying that their act was like Mahatma Gandhi. And they are putting picture of Mahatma Gandhi to justify it. Do India Alliance partners support this nonsense? They have anyways distanced themselves from this act. But this shows the level of Congress. Congress party is a Mahagoon party. And they are calling it a Mahatma Gandhi act. Today Congress has crossed all limits. For them, AI means anti-India. And it's not INC, it's ANC, Anti-National Congress. They oppose everything that's in benefit of India. AI Summit, UPI, COVID, Operation Sindhu. Only because they want to do BJP Virod, they do Desh Virod.
Came the fallout. Congress and BJP workers logged horns in Indore. Both the faction pelted stones at each other. And unfortunately, a journalist suffered serious injuries after he was caught in the crossfire. Spread across the country, BJP workers staged massive protests outside the Congress headquarters in Delhi and in Mumbai. Demonstrations also erupted in Surat, Hyderabad, Jammu and Jaipur. BJP leaders called the Youth Congress a national embarrassment, accusing the Congress party of deliberately shaming India in front of the world and demanding accountability from party's top leadership.
बहुत प्रमुख देशों का हेड ऑफ द स्टेट, हेड ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट और कई जाने माने हस्तियां भारत का तारीफ करके एकजुट बहुत अच्छा काम चल रहा था उस समय कांग्रेस के यूथ कांग्रेस वर्कर्स के कुछ लोगों ने वहाँ आकर के नंगा नाच किया और सबने तस्वीरें देखी और रात भर इसका जो प्रतिक्रिया आए हैं देश भर से, जितना भी इसका निंदा किया जाए बहुत कम है। तो सुबह जब हमने देखा माफ़ी मांगने की जगह उल्टा कई कांग्रेसी नेता ये नंगा नाच को जायज़ ठहरा रहे थे। वो कह रहे थे कि ये युवाओं का आक्रोश है। अगर युवाओं का आक्रोश को देश को बदनाम करने के लिए, दुनिया के सामने में भारत को बदनाम करने के लिए अगर इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो इससे ज़्यादा शर्मनाक कुछ और हो नहीं सकता है।
And all this controversy traces back to what unfolded yesterday at the India Impact Summit in the national capital, as the global leaders and top technology CEOs gathered to discuss artificial intelligence and India's role in the future global order. A group of shirtless Indian Youth Congress workers breached the high security venue. Shouting slogans against the India-US trade framework, the protesters stunned delegates and organizers alike, forcing security agencies to step in. On the legal front, the Patiala House Court has now sent 4 workers of the Indian Youth Congress to 5 days of police remand in connection with that shirtless protest. While seeking remand, the Delhi police said that the accused had staged a protest which is similar to the protest in Nepal. The police also claimed that was a part of a conspiracy to defame the country internationally. What was meant to be India's AI moment has now turned into a political flashpoint. The focus has shifted from technology and diplomacy to protests and parallels with history and an escalating blame game. The debate tonight is direct, but it's also unavoidable. Is this protest rooted in principle or political provocation? And does invoking Mahatma Gandhi justify turning a global summit into an international spectacle? Joining me on the show is Arshpreet Kadiyal, spokesperson for the Congress Party. Also with us is Charu Pragya, spokesperson for the BJP, and Ritin PM, who was at the summit during the time of that protest. I want to come to you first, Ritin. I believe you were at the summit and you were also one of those people who escorted these protesters out. What did you see unfolding in front of you?
So as a youngster,
Ritin? All right, we'll try and get him back. But Arshpreet, from the around the clock reactions we are getting, and not just from the BJP, let's keep them aside for a moment, but all the reactions that we are getting from the people at large, would you like to apologize to the nation for what transpired there at the AI summit? It was a moment for India. Whichever way it was going, we'll discuss that. But what the Congress youth workers did is highly condemnable.
Number one, the Bharatiya Janata Party's incompetence was at peak. They know this, that there was organizational mismanagement, there were lapses.
I'll come to that.
There was traffic
No,
chaos.
I'll come to that.
If I may.
No. If you could, let's begin with the issue at hand. I will allow you. It's as long as you come to the issue at hand first.
I'm coming to the issue at hand. If you please hear me for 10 seconds.
Okay.
The Bharatiya Janata Party knows of this fiasco, of this blunder, that there were complaints of traffic chaos, there were complaints of congestion, there was a robot row, Chinese products were being showcased, there were organizational lapses, there was mismanagement. In order to divert attention from all of that, they tried to come up with this. There were memes that were being made about the jogging conversation that Mr. Modi had with the President of France. Number two, there were memes being made that Bill Gates pulled off.
I'm still waiting for you to come to the issue at hand.
Nvidia's Huang pulled off. There were videos that were being made.
I'm not denying any of that. I'm saying...
Allow me to please complete. Okay. In order to divert attention from all of it, in order to divert attention from the failures, they tried to create this media narrative. Number one, freedom of speech and expression still exists. A peaceful protest, a non-violent protest is and should not be a concern to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Rather, please try to ensure that you have a little bit of discipline, that you have a little bit of homework when you're organizing the big tech giants. And there were memes about the hand raising that happened, the arm raising that happened, how the big tech giants were unwilling and reluctant to raise their arms.
Okay.
So in order to cover all of that,
I'm going to ask once again, would you like to apologize to the nation for the embarrassment caused by youth workers yesterday?
I beg your pardon?
Would you like to apologize to the nation for the embarrassment caused by youth workers yesterday?
I think that the Bharatiya Janata Party were to lead by example and apologize for the embarrassment.
Would you then apologize if the Bharatiya Janata Party were to apologize?
They should offer an unconditional apology right here on the channel for the fiasco, for the major embarrassment, how it all turned out. So all we are requesting the Bharatiya Janata Party to do is to listen to the Man Ki Baat of people and not just impose their own Man Ki Baat over the people of the country.
Okay.
Because the people are saying it was embarrassing.
I was hoping to have a conversation.
They were embarrassing.
Okay.
Chinese products were being shown at AI. 1 second, please allow me to just 10 more seconds. Chinese products were being shown at our summit, and Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, he was seen promoting these China-made products. Is it Atmanirbhar or China?
Yes, please. All right.
Is it Atmanirbhar or China?
Ashpreet. All right. Okay, Charu Pragya. I think some of the points that Ashpreet is mentioning, I think they're valid. There is a meme fest doing the rounds on the internet, although I would want to stick to what happened yesterday, because for me that's taken away from everything that transpired.
I will address everything, Shweta.
Okay.
I will address everything. A very good evening to you. I love being on your shows on this channel because we end up having a reasonable, sensible discussion, and both sides of the spectrum need to be heard. Now, Ashpreet went around in circles without addressing the issue. But the questions that he has raised, let's begin from there so that he doesn't start interrupting me when I come to the topic of today's debate. Yes, Bharatiya Janata Party apologized. In fact, our Honorable Minister said that for all the mismanagement and discomfort that could have been caused to the people, we apologize, and that was immediately fixed. When there were problems, when they were discovered, they were immediately fixed. And I think that is very big of the government to own up, to step up, and to correct everything. Now, I want to say one more thing. This was India's talent at display. This was not BJP workers sitting inside stalls talking about their personal achievements. This whole summit did not belong to a political party. This belonged to people of our country. And there were 100 countries, over 100 countries participating in this. And we go by the dictum of Atithi Devo Bhava, right? So when 100 countries, 20 heads of states, over 500 important CEOs and inventors, when 2.5 lakh people from across the country have registered to be a part of this massive summit, which has been hosted in India for the very first time, this is India's win. India's win. Yes, one fiasco might have occurred, but wasn't that fixed? And does that make up for the fact that India showcased to the world Sarvam? We talked about Bhashini, AI for Bharat. We have been using Digi Yatra for the longest time in the easiest ways. Our UPI is something that the world is admiring us for.
Okay.
And I want to come back to this because this was India's win. This was India's talent on display. It was Indians who kicked out these rowdy, hooligan, so-called Congress youth workers. They were not youth. They were middle-aged, podgy men who think it's absolutely reasonable to take their shirts off in protest. Why were they going topless? Why do I not hear anyone addressing this point? Okay, you had issues. Do you know you have a proper forum to raise them? If it was a political issue, raise it in Parliament. In Parliament, you want to stage walkouts instead of having reasonable, normal debates like any other opposition would do. Here, what you have done is you have made sure that every single time our country is shining on the global platform, you do something which is terrible. And this time, Shweta, yesterday I was really angry. Today, I'm terribly disappointed. And look at the political isolation that Congress is facing. Who has sided with them? In fact, Congress leaders, tongue-in-cheek, are appalled at the behavior of Youth Congress. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday. So when this horrific incident happened, I don't know why Congress right now wants to defend the fact that an international summit was gate crashed and these men took their clothes off. Please, Arshpreet, for everything that you have said, I'm being reasonable about this because I'm a young Indian. I'm taking a great amount of pride in an event my country has hosted. And it is my countrymen who kicked out your fellow party people, by the way. They kicked them out quite literally and figuratively.
Okay.
Everybody is talking about your political party. But I want to know, how can you sit here as a man and say the solution to everything is to take your clothes off? The method of protesting is to take your clothes off, and you're justifying it. Tomorrow, what all are you going to do? I mean, from what level is that reasonable? You're proud of that? I think what they did was they have bitten off more than they can chew. They have no way how to fix this. It's turned out that the people involved in this so-called protest, I'm not going to call it a protest, this is hooliganism at display, are close to Rahul Gandhi. They have no choice. And right now, they are so cornered. They are so cornered. And if they think they're speaking for the people of India, excuse me. One, people of India have not chosen you 3 times in a row. 2, it was people of India who kicked you out last night.
Okay, Charu, let me go to
I'm angry
Ritin.
about this, Shweta.
I understand that. I understand that.
And I'm doing this very respectfully, Shweta. I started out by addressing the questions raised by the Congress. They should actually come out and call out this nonsense. Younger people like Arshpreet should lead by example. Call out this nonsense. Say protest is one thing, going naked is another.
Okay, Ritin PM, who's also the son of Bengaluru Central MP PC Mohan, was at the venue yesterday when he was one of those people.
Chief Minister from Telangana was at the venue, by the way.
Yeah. He was one of those people who managed to, push some of the workers out who were protesting there. It was a huge chaos, I'm told. I'm going to come to you, Ashpreet. Just give me 1 second. Ritin, tell me, what did you see? What happened there at the venue, and what was the reaction of the people?
So when I was standing near the Tata stall, I saw these 20 men opening their shirts off and walking. And then later on, 8-10 people started running behind them. And they went to the podium where the Prime Minister was standing, where he had taken a picture there. And that's when 4 to 5 public came there and pulled these people down.
Okay.
And what message is Congress people giving to that youngster? There was a 12-year-old boy. He had developed an AI-generated device.
Okay.
Imagine a 12-year-old boy witnessing such things. How is it fair?
Okay. More than a 12-year-old boy, I'm sure there were a lot of girls and boys there.
There were so many innovations.
Arshpreet, I'm not a politician, but as a citizen of this country, I am angry. I'm angry
it's unacceptable to see what has happened.
Okay. Ritin, I'm going to come to you. Let me ask Ashpreet to respond. Ashpreet, as a citizen of this country, and not as a journalist today, I'm angry. I'm angry at the display of vulgarity. I'm angry at how, men, adults went about being shirtless at a summit which is international. If you had enough political points already, when you talk about how this summit was a failure, how there were Chinese robos at display, you should have milked them as a politician. What you ended up doing is exactly biting more than you can chew. You ended up hurting yourself. You ended up hurting the Congress party. Unfortunately, I think you had enough and more political mileage over the ruling government on how, perhaps it was not as organized as one would wanted it to be. And there were a lot of reactions coming in on that. And you could have really questioned the government on that. What was the need of that vulgar display?
Thank you for the question. First and foremost, I really request the Bharatiya Janata Party's government that the amount of time, energy, resources...
Whatever question you ask of the one second. I'm sorry I'm interrupting, Arshpreet, but
I'm sorry, this is not the way you debate. This is not how you debate.
No, you ask questions about Congress.
This is not how you debate.
He begins every word with Bharatiya Janata
Charu,
Party.
if you give me... Charu, let's speak one after the other.
Such a level that we cannot speak about anything except our party.
Okay, we'll speak one after the other.
I request the BJP spokesperson, I did not interrupt you.
All right.
You had your
Go
say.
ahead.
Wait for your turn. Learn the decorum.
But
learn
you're
the
not answering any of the questions I raised, Shweta. Can you ensure you
I will. Charu.
Thank you.
Ashpreet,
I just want
yes.
a yes and no. Is taking
Yes,
your clothes
okay,
off
Ashpreet,
the answer to everything?
I want you to focus on that protest yesterday from your heart of heart. Tell me how is that right? Tell me how is that right as a citizen of this country?
Allow me to please complete.
Yeah,
now,
go ahead.
I did not interrupt the BJP spokesperson. She has interrupted me already.
I'm not interested in
if she interrupts
interrupting you.
me again, I'm sorry, not be able to continue.
Okay,
Thank
go
you
ahead.
for doing
No,
that was
Ashpreet,
the only solution. That was the only solution. I thank you for that, because the BJP spokesperson don't stop interrupting, especially Charu. Number 2, I want to congratulate the BJP spokesperson on one thing. She spoke the truth about a few things. She admitted that there was a fiasco. She admitted apology should have been made and apology has been made. But one, now that you've admitted that there's been a fiasco, what about the accountability? What about the responsibility? Our image has suffered. Our country's image has suffered. Nation's image
Our
suffered.
image has suffered more
Some
on the account of what
accountability ought
Congress
to be
party
there.
did.
Allow me to please complete. They have already laid so much emphasis to this video, to this protest, that for the last 2 days, this is all that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been talking about. Nothing about the law and order, nothing about the corruption, nothing about the
Because you did
massive
that.
loan burden that
Your
we
party
have,
members
nothing
did
about
that.
the economy, nothing about
And
the
I'm
policy.
doing my
One
best
second.
to be non-political.
You know,
and
I'll be
very
honest with you,
knowledgeable on this.
Ashpreet.
My
Can I
request
come in, please?
is, my
Ashpreet,
request
your
is
party
that
members made sure
accountability.
that you become the talk of this
Allow
conversation.
me to please complete. One second. Allow me to please complete.
One of his
For the last
spokespersons
for the
actually
last 2
admitted that
days,
yesterday.
the Bharatiya Janata Party has been trying to make a media narrative out of this. I have told you the reason behind it. My request to the BJP spokesperson is accountability ought to be there because of you, our image has suffered. The concerned
all. Can I
minister
come
ought
in?
to
I'm sorry, but
resign.
because of
There is
the
a
Congress party, the image has
there is a
suffered even
solution
worse.
for everything.
Shweta,
There is a
can I come
solution
in?
for everything, not this interruption. And if she continues to interrupt me, I'll not be able to continue.
Fine. I'm going to say this. You know,
So
you
my
heard
request
Charu.
is
You heard
either I
Charu.
also
She
interrupt-
said,
either
you
I
heard
also
Charu
interrupt.
and you
I
know,
also have
Ashwini
to interrupt.
Vaishnav, union minister, he came out and he apologized. He said, I'm sorry if there were any disruptions and if there was a chaos and if we couldn't manage it better. And he also said, I remember him distinctly saying that we take your feedback and we will work on that
In a
feedback.
positive way.
Are you going to
Resignation.
today
With his
say
words.
you are sorry?
Resignation is what we
Fine.
need.
One second. Are you going to say you're
Resignation
sorry
is
for
what
what
we
youth
need.
Congress workers did?
Allow
Are
me,
you
please. Allow
are
me-
you
I'll
ready
answer
to
your question.
apologize?
I'll answer your question. Now, one, if the BJP continues to interrupt me, I'll have to interrupt them as well. Number two, as far as the apology goes, apology is not enough. Apology is not sufficient.
You're not even apologizing.
It was, 1 second, they said, no, it was a global event. So many countries were participating. So many people were participating.
Can I come in, please?
It was all on air. And because of this fiasco, we have suffered. Therefore, a resignation ought to come. Where is the resignation? You have admitted, you have
Where is
apologized.
your
but
apology?
What of the accountability?
I mean, how are
Accountability
you
ought to be
any
the number
better?
two.
I'm
It was a
sorry. How's your
disorganized
party any
PR
better?
spectacle.
If you say
It
BJP
was
is
a
not good, how are you
disorganized
better?
PR
At least they apologize. This was the first ever AI summit in this country.
It was a disorganized PR spectacle. The Bharatiya Janata Party knows
Can I
that there is a
come in
solution
now,
for
Shweta,
everything.
please? Because he's
Not the
repeating
acronym
himself. I have some
infection.
important points
Look
I want
at
to
the
make.
acronym infection that there is.
Okay.
They coined the term Manav. And this acronym that the BJP leaders have come up with, the BJP spokesperson would also not know the full form of it.
I don't think you
These are
understand.
the
We're
kind
not.
of, these are the kind of
We are
blunders they
debating.
do.
We are debating
These
what
are
the youth Congress
that is how
workers
they
did
embarrass
yesterday.
us. That
Okay.
is how the
Shweta,
BJP
can I
embarrasses
speak?
us.
Let Charu
Yes.
come in. Yes.
Thank you. So there are few things that I want to point out. India organized the AI
When will the
Impact
minister
Summit for the
resign? When will the minister resign? He has admitted.
Ashpreet,
He has
I think my
apologized, but
minister
what of the
was very
accountability?
dignified and
What of
very
the
gracious in the way he addressed
What
the
of the
country.
accountability?
Shweta,
Some
I will not-
accountability
I
has
will
to
not
be there.
tolerate-
Ashpreet,
should have some
Because of his
muted. Can I
errors,
speak?
Ashpreet,
because of
you
his
have.
mistakes,
Okay,
our
fine. We'll
image
speak
is
one after the other.
suffered.
Ashpreet, can you
Accountability ought to
please?
be there.
All right. You've said resign 4 times now. Let Charu respond.
Thank you.
I hope she'll come to the
Shweta, I
picture.
want to put this on record. I think our minister was very gracious and very dignified in the way he addressed the media. He's going to take all feedback in a positive way, and that has happened. But let me point out certain things here.
But what of
India
accountability?
organized the AI Impact
Why no
Summit for the first
accountability?
time.
Why
Shweta,
no
you have
This
to-
is how.
accountability?
I'm
Shweta,
sorry, but this is not how we debate. I mean, nobody's
When
understanding.
I was
Thank
being
you.
interrupted, that was also
No,
not how
I
we should
did.
have debated.
Ashpreet,
When I was
I
being
asked.
interrupted, that was also not
I
how
did
we should
ask
have
Charu
debated.
to wait for
But
her
she
turn,
continued
and now I'm
interrupting
asking
me.
you to wait for
But
yours.
She continued interrupting me.
I
did not
asked
have
Charu
my
to
statement
wait. Now I'm going to
completed.
request you
Kept
to
on
wait.
interrupting.
Can we speak one after the other, please?
Definitely, I'll
Thank
do
you.
that. She did not do it.
Yes, please. Now
Thank you,
give
Shweta.
Charu time to speak. Yes.
I will start again. So we organized a summit like this, the AI Impact Summit, for the first time. And the world was interested in what India had to showcase. That is exactly why 100+ countries participated in this summit. In this summit, there were over 300 Indian inventions at display. And each one, if we get into the details of, were brilliant. Every single global CEO from the tech world who came to India had wonderful things to say about our country, about our innovations, about the fast strides we are making in this particular department. We have made sure that ethical AI, inclusive AI, AI for development is something that India is going to be known for. I think the way we have brought together digital public infrastructure in our country, it's unprecedented. There's no other country in the world with the population of 150 million people which so easily uses simple applications for everyday uses. The UPI, I used the example of Digi Yatra before, Digi Locker. So much of what we do in such a brilliant way is technologically driven, and this is all India's technology. I'm mighty proud of it.
Can I also,
cannot
Charu,
say this often
I
enough,
have to ask,
but I'm going to...
Charu, sorry,
Yeah.
one second. Many
Now I'm going to come to a
of it was not
political-
India's technology as well, and I think it's important to also bring up what happened by the way of that, robo dog that was displayed by Galgotias and then displayed by Wipro, and many
correct,
people I've spoken to, I have to ask, because a lot of people I've spoken to who visited the exhibition said many technology that was in display was in fact Chinese or Korean technology. So, was there any due diligence done to ensure that people who display what they're displaying is actually indigenous? Because even that brings a lot of shame to the country when you have Chinese robos being, positioned as Indian robos or Indian technology.
No, absolutely it does. Absolutely. And who's running away from any kind of responsibility? If something is being showcased or talked about, every single example I have taken right now, Shweta, are you going to take that and say all of this is not India's win? And I'm going to come and say one more thing. And I'm again probably repeating myself, but two very important questions. One, it was the participants, the common citizens of India who were showcasing their life's work in that particular summit that kicked out the Congress hooligans. It was them who kicked out the Congress people. And two, nobody has answered this question for me. Please tell me this. Attention grabbing technique is taking your clothes off. Is that what you're endorsing? And is that what you're comfortable with? And is that going to be your modus operandi in the days to come? Because this is beyond terrible. Every other thing you have said before or after does not matter because you're not discussing the issue at hand. To protest, you go naked. I mean, what kind of a protest is that? Okay, these were men. Tomorrow, if women were to say the same thing, imagine the kind of conversations that would start in our country. You're going to take your clothes off to grab attention. And you're proud of it. I mean, I cannot think, if you want to be taken seriously in India's political discourse, act seriously. Behave seriously. Talk seriously.
Right.
If you have so many political points to make
Yeah.
them politically.
Okay,
Don't
Ashpreet.
go absurd. Don't go pervert. Don't go naked.
Ashpreet, there are ways to protest. And
not the
protesting is
place
your
to
right.
protest also,
And
Norma.
let me also say
But
this.
protest
No,
is
for the
the
sake
better
of our audience, let me also say this. This is the job of the opposition. It's your job to point out the flaws, the shortcomings of the government. But there is a way to do it. There is a medium to do it. This wasn't the way and this wasn't the medium.
First and foremost, a lot of repetition was heard, witnessed. It was said 5 times. Responsibility, we are not running away from responsibility. Our minister has apologized, this, that. You have apologized. You have admitted that there was a massive
Better can you make him answer the question on naked men
Therefore,
because
see,
he just
again,
repeats himself.
again,
Ashpreet,
not addressing the question.
it would be prudent
Are you
if
deaf?
you
this
could.
is what the BJP spoke.
Are you
This
deaf?
is what the
Ashpreet,
BJP
you-
spokesperson
you're-
is
I'm
all
sure you
about,
turn up to be a
interrupting.
great politician
Look
because
at,
you're really
look at
you're.
the shameful interruption.
you are-
Look at the shameful
Okay,
interruption.
can we not
she's
use
doing.
those words?
Don't bring politicians a bad
This
name
is-
by calling
this
him a
is-
Godwar.
this is-
He's a
You know-
Sorry
pathetic
state
one.
of
If he
affairs.
pretends he can't hear
This
my
is sorry
questions.
state of affairs.
Ashpreet.
Interrupting me again and again when I've just started.
Can we not use those
Please
words?
learn some decorum.
Fine.
Learn some decorum is what I request.
Fine.
Learn
Okay.
some ethics.
Go ahead.
Have some training done.
Go ahead and if you
Right,
can,
for
please
them,
answer
ethical
the
is to go
question.
naked.
Go
Again,
ahead and
again.
answer the question if you
Again.
can.
Now,
Ashpreet,
now I'll answer
would
your
that
question.
was that the right way to
I'll
protest?
answer your question.
Answer the
I'll
question, please.
I'll
Yes.
answer your question. Now, Article 19(1)(a) is a fundamental right which says freedom of speech and expression.
Being
Right
obscene
to
in
protest
public.
comes under it.
Obscenity
I am
in public
sorry. I
is
can't
also
continue. You
punishable
people
by
are the
law.
BJP spokesperson
You want to play
say.
lawyer with me?
Because-
I'll show
because
you I'm a
we
lawyer.
will not be allowed to speak. You can
Obscenity
have
in
a-
Charu,
public
one-
You can have
Charu,
a
is
talk.
punishable by law.
I'll quit.
Taking off
I
your
often
clothes
say
in
this-
public is
I'll quit
punishable
now.
by
Charu,
law.
one second. I often say this. I mean, we should give an opportunity to everyone to respond. I think that also that's important. Let Ashpreet respond to what he believes.
Make
What
him
he
answer
believes.
my question.
No, I
Is
would.
taking his clothes off his way of protesting.
I would love.
Simple yes and no will do.
I would love for our audience to know what the Congress party's rationale was. I would love for our audience to understand why did the Congress party do what it did. For the first time, Ashpreet is responding. Whatever your rationale, Ashpreet, please go
I'm
ahead.
very interested
Let
to
people know why you think that was right.
See, if I'm interrupted again, I'll not.
Okay, no, nobody's interrupting you. Please.
I'll simply quit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, have me.
No, go ahead, please. I need to close the show as well.
Have me
So
in a
please,
single frame.
you
Have
know-
me in a single frame, because I know the BJP spokesperson cannot restrain themselves from interrupting. I know it. Now you'll see it again. I'll answer your question now. One, like I was saying, Article 19(1)(a), it's a fundamental right. Freedom of speech and expression covers right to peacefully protest. There was no violence done. There was nothing of that sort at all whatsoever. And the Bharatiya Janata Party is accustomed to calling, to suppressing and calling down protests. Even a peaceful protest like like there was against the farm laws. The Bharatiya Janata Party even condemned that, and after that apologized and made a U-turn after 700 farmers were martyred. So they're accustomed to stopping people from protesting. They're accustomed to undermining them, suppressing their voice, because they are not used to difference in opinion. They're not used
going to ask you to come back to the point.
After that, you can have your say.
I'm going to ask you to come back to the point again. Are you okay with men taking off their shirts in a global event? Congress youth workers taking off their shirts. Are you okay with that? You think that's right to freedom of speech and expression?
One second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is not the real issue. Is can we be okay with Chinese products being shown?
No, I'm not okay with that. Not okay with that. Neither are we okay with this. We are not.
One second.
So what message
Why the China praise?
for the youngsters
Why the
by protesting like this
Chinese
inside an
product
AI
praise?
summit?
Why is the Bharatiya Janata Party so inclined towards China and Chinese products that
sorry,
you could not
Ashwin,
even wait for
I
the summit
think,
to come over?
I think it's redundant. You're going on in circles at this point.
It requires consistency. But the Bharatiya Janata Party is not accustomed to discipline, homework and consistency. Had they have done the homework, this blunder would not have happened. This fiasco would have not been witnessed. But the Bharatiya Janata Party, one second,
You know, Ashwin, I think you're going to. I think you're going in
No,
circles.
he's making a bigger
Now,
fool of
at this
himself.
point, you're going in circles.
And
And I'm telling you, okay, here's the thing. Okay, fine, you have a bone to pick with the BJP. I am telling you, as a journalist, as a citizen of this country, I'm not okay with the Chinese robo, but I'm not okay with how Congress youth workers behaved. Are you okay with them?
Now,
are you okay with them? Yes or no? Are you okay with them taking off their shirt? Yes or no?
One second. Are you okay with the blunder of traffic
No,
congestion?
I'm not okay with traffic congestion. No, I'm not. Are you okay with? I am not, sir. I think I've answered your question. I'm not okay with the traffic congestion. I'm not okay with the Chinese robo. Are you okay with men taking off their shirts?
Are you okay with the China frame?
Are you okay?
Showcasing. Are you okay with the China?
I'm telling you, I'm not okay. I just answered you.
Are you fine with that?
I'm not.
Are you fine with the BJP?
I'm not.
Inclination
Oh God,
towards China.
this is.
Are you fine with the
I don't think
inclination of the
Ashwin is
BJP towards
laughing.
China and Chinese products?
I am not.
That is the
Ashpreet,
kind of-
I have
that
already
is the kind
answered
of
you 5 times. I am
inclination
not
that the
okay
BJP
with that.
towards China.
I'm saying, are you okay with
That
with
is the kind
half-naked
of-
men at a
that is
global
the kind of
summit?
inclination that the BJP has towards
I-
China.
oh.
That is the kind of.
You know what?
Just
Sometimes
for China,
it's
It's
China
very evident
Okay.
he's from Rahul.
All right. I think I'm going to close this show because I think I'm going to close this show. Sometimes in politics, sometimes in politics, Ashpreet, you know, I'm going to tell you what the people are thinking. I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking, but I'm going to tell you what people are thinking and what we are talking about outside of newsrooms. Sometimes it's okay to admit that you have erred, that you have made a mistake.
Yes. Yes. Look at him, he's still going on and on.
All right, gentlemen.
He's lost his party another 1,000 votes with this debate.
The BJP can apologize, but the BJP will
If
not
BJP can
accept
apologize, Congress
Why
can't
do they run from
apologize?
accountability? Why do
Are
they
you
run
too
from
big to
accountability?
apologize?
Why do
He'll
they
not
run from
stop
accountability?
talking.
One second,
Like the irrelevance of
One
this
second. They apologize. One second.
point that he's putting across. I can't stop laughing, Shweta.
I'm sorry.
You're laughing.
I'm going to
Stop.
close
The
the
world
show.
over.
At this point, you know,
What of
Ashpreet.
accountability?
Ashpreet.
What of accountability? If there is a mistake, there ought to be accountability. Now, if an offense
My
is
God,
committed, we
he's
punish
on
the
a
person.
roll.
If a mistake is made, we transfer a
Okay,
bureaucrat.
ladies
If
and
an error
gentlemen,
made,
this is
we
a
suspend
never-ending
the person.
debate
Why
as
is
long
there
as
no
the
Shweta,
Congress.
can I get a closing, please?
Yes,
Why
please,
you
Charu,
allowed him
go
to
ahead.
ramble for
I
the
just have
last
30
3
seconds.
minutes?
Charu, go ahead. Ashpreet, Charu, go ahead.
Yeah. So, this rambling showcases to our country exactly what Congress has become. They make a mistake, they don't want to own it up. They don't want to answer a simple question. Protest, all right, but there has to be a decency to it. Show black flags if you want to. Don't take your clothes off. And because Arshpreet was trying to throw legality my way, let me remind him that behaving in an obscene manner in public is also punishable by law, right? Also punishable by law. Disrupting public order and peace is also punishable by law. So do not throw law at me. In fact, do some introspection. And the more you talk, the more votes you take away from your already failing party. So I wish you luck. India is not with you. They've made it apparently clear because the Indians at the show kicked you out.
Okay, Ritin, last word to you at this point. Last word to you, and perhaps not as somebody whose father is in the BJP, but as someone who was there at the event when that happened, there was already a lot of conversation about things that did not go right at the summit. And I really hope to ask some serious questions of the BJP and of the organizers. But unfortunately, Congress took the pie with that indecency, with taking off their clothes. So the conversation today is more to do with what Congress youth workers did there, as opposed to what we could do better with India AI Summit. But Ritin, the last word to you there.
How the people kicked them out of the AI Summit, I think they will be kicked out in all the 4 elections which has been coming ahead in the coming days.
I was hoping to get a non-political response there,
no, it is the thing which is there in people's mind, ma'am. Because I may be a politician's son, but those other people were not linked politically. They came forward and took up the initiative to clear the Congress goons out. I may come from a political background, but those other people were not from a political background to clear this mess out.
All right, I think it was to do with the fact that it was in bad taste, as simple as that. I hoped that the Congress party would come forward, would acknowledge, would suspend those workers and, make amends. But I don't see that happening, not today. Hopefully it will happen in days and weeks to come. But that's all the time I have. Arshpreet, Charu, Pragya, Ritin, thank you very much all of you for taking time out for joining us on the show.